live streaming in business, especially women? And also, how are they using it now as to what's happened with TikTok recently? So, my name is Rose Cayazo, and I am the owner and founder of the Live Streaming Secret Circle, which is a program for women to get them on camera and getting going with a live streaming strategy so that they can attract their ideal clients. And today, I'm very excited because I have this gal. Her name is Stevie with two eyes, which I love. Stevie, please introduce yourself to my audience.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Rose, for inviting me to share the space and talk about one of my favorite topics, which is live streaming. I am from the great state of North Carolina. I'm Stevie Mills, Dr. Stevie, just Stevie. It just depends on what circle you know me in and to what you call me. But I love that my name is spelled Stevii. So you can find me there. But guess what? I am from this great state of North Carolina where it's currently very cold and rainy. And I love helping my clients who are Christian women who are career driven to increase their income and their impact.
Excellent. Excellent. And just to mention the weather, I live in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. So today we're having a nice day. It's playing nice outside today, but we typically have very cold days, sometimes -30.
Oh, wow. No.
So great. I love that you also help women in business as well, because this is something that I'm very passionate about. So you have a live streaming show. Can you tell us more about it? Like what you do in this live streaming show?
So I have a live streaming show that comes on basically every day. I live stream at some point every day. During the holiday season, I was able to do it more consistently. Now I'm back at work. I had PTO for most of December, but now I'm back at work. So my schedule has changed a little bit. But what we talk about in the show definitely is income streaming activities. So I believe in the streams of income. I believe that visibility plus credibility equals cash. So yes, it's important to get visible, but also turn that visibility into some way to support yourself. So that's what we talk about. I do live stream basically the most on TikTok, even though, all the things that happen on TikTok, I am there the most. And also on Facebook and occasionally here on YouTube.
Nice. So tell us exactly why. Only because the TikTok thing is curious to most people, right?
Mhm.
Like, for whatever reason, I didn't update my app. And so now I can't get it on my phone. But I know that I can go to my computer and I can type in TikTok and look at all the things. But I wonder if anyone else could do that, right? Like, do they know? Sometimes people just think it's just on the app and they don't know to actually get there. So there hasn't been much information. So I'm just curious, like your actual people that you bring in exist on TikTok mostly, and that's why you picked the platform, or is there some other reason why you're using it?
Honestly, God God told me early in December to go on this app, and I just stayed there. So between November 29th, when I really started tracking, till now, I went from 2,800 connections to about 5,300 connections. So for me, it's just been a great journey. It's been very easy to use. I love the excitement that TikTok has. Normally, I move very quickly in life, and TikTok, if you have ever seen a live stream, it is a very quick motion. So it's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of people talking. There's a lot of even the gifting that happens there. And for me, that's just indicative of my personality. I like things to move quickly. I like things to move in a way that is going to draw excitement and attention. So for me, I felt very comfortable there. It is very interesting to see, the things that have happened, the app going dark, coming back up. It is that part has, and we still, don't know what's going to happen in the future. But for me right now, I've made some great connections on there. I've made some sales on there. I think Facebook is kind of like that sweatshirt that you have that you're gonna always go back to. I'm gonna always be on Facebook, but I like the ease of TikTok right now. I've been able to do some very successful things on that platform.
That's great. And so I was going to ask, on TikTok in particular, do you think that because you were going live every day that that actually made your audience increase, or was there something else that you were doing to increase your audience?
Definitely, I think it definitely made the audience increase, and also being in the lives of other people made it increase as well. So being able to connect and network during the lives that other people have, but also being able to show my personality and expertise as well has been something that has cemented the people.
And I feel like that's what it's all about. Our personality, we're all so very different people. But, if I'm going to put something on social media and it's just a static picture of myself, people have no idea who I am.
Mhm.
I can write a good game, or some people might see through that, we're using AI or something like that. But when we're
Mhm.
sitting here, like I love to do lives because I don't like production, honestly. I
Mhm.
feel like it makes your social media a lot easier. Now, for
Mhm.
you, I'm curious if, what was I going to ask? Like, was there ever a time that you felt like, oh, there's no way I'm going to do a live stream? Or were you
Uh,
completely like for it? You're like, I need this.
I've been live streaming since back in the days. I remember Blab. I don't know if you've ever
Yes, I remember Blab.
Blab was one of the predecessors, I think, when it comes to live streaming. And I remember Periscope, and I remember very much the first time I ever did what was called a pass the cast, where we would go one after the other on Periscope. I remember my connectivity was not that great, so I started like crying. I was like, I was so frustrated. So yes, I remember those days. It took a lot to get to the point of going live every day. That's something that I built up to. But I remember the days where I was like, I don't know if I will do this. I want to quit it. It's not for me. This is not working. And especially because I didn't realize that was my connectivity that was hindering. But I love going live now. I love talking to my community. I love really exploring. Like you said, it's one thing because even on TikTok, you can make content, like the content portion. But I like the live stream too because that's a one and done thing. We don't have to put a lot of thought inside of it.
Right,
But
because we're just being ourselves, right?
yes, yes.
And I think for women right now, this is why I've dedicated the next half of my career. So I'm not sure if you know my background, but I was in the social media field back in 2008 when people really didn't believe it was a real thing. They thought I was nutso, and they kept my card on their desk though. And 3 years later, they were like, "You were right." And I'm like, "Well, it's not about being right. I knew that social media was going to change our world entirely." But at the same time, when I opened that business to do social media, I actually opened another business where I was serving as a voiceover and on camera talent and doing emceeing at live events. And I was also a syndicated radio show host for a while as well. So I could never let the things go. Like every coach I worked with said, "Oh no, like you have to pick, you have to pick." And I was like, "I can't pick. I can't. I love both things so much." And that's why now bringing this together for women to be on camera, I know because the women that I speak to, sometimes it's just really tough for them to get past whatever it is in their head that makes them feel like I'm no good on camera. Right.
Mhm.
So, what would you say to women right now that are thinking to themselves, oh, well, I couldn't do what these ladies are doing? Um, I just don't think I could. What would you say to a woman that is thinking that in their heads? Like, I never want to go on camera.
I always tell my clients to really look at who it is that is being hurt or hindered by you not getting out of your own way. I think sometimes that we put a spotlight on ourselves and our inadequacies, quote unquote, but we don't look at what that is going to do to other people who may be watching us. And I do believe that we are a custom design assigned to someone, and someone is custom design assigned to us. So for me, I have that conversation. Again, my clients are Christian women, so we are going to pray about it. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to say, what is it that is going to be a disservice to this world by you not doing what you've been called to do? I do think there are other ways to get visible besides live streaming, but live streaming is the way that literally cuts down from you getting a client to become a client versus being a potential client. And I do think that is very helpful because people do business with who they know, like, and trust. And that is the greatest way to, inside, besides being in person with someone, that's the greatest way to break the barrier.
I love that you said that. I just love that you said that because I feel strongly too, like with AI on the rise,
Mhm,
what does that mean for us doing pictures? What do people
mhm,
believe? Do they believe we're a true human? I know there's a lot of things going on with AI, and it is jumping over fences every day in new fields, just like wow, wow, wow. But also, as a real person and doing live streaming and being able to show your personality, who you are, is a whole different thing. Like you praying about it, I think that's amazing because really a lot of women that I talk to feel very compelled, like myself, that this is something I'm called to do.
mhm.
And this is why I will go on camera because I do have my story about how, I had a live streaming show and I was like, the guy from TV came to me and he was like, I want to give you a live streaming show. And I was like, you have the wrong gal. I'm in radio. I don't know what you're talking about. And then this whole, breakdown of what I had to do to get this live streaming show. And then what happened with that. But I would say, if you were to give one live streaming secret out to the women of the world that are in business, that are thinking, you know what, maybe I could do this, but I don't really know like where to start. Like, or, like I just need to know one thing and maybe that'll get me going. What would you share with women today that are just thinking about maybe I can do it?
I think the biggest thing for someone who's initially starting is to have someone who you trust, right? Whether it be a coach, a sister, a friend, whoever, to come in there with you. That allows you to have some sense of comfort. You don't feel like you're just talking to yourself. You don't feel like even the days where it might not be a lot of people in my spaces while I'm live streaming, I'm gonna go ahead and say what I'm going to say because people remember there may not be people here initially, but the replay is always there. And most
That's
people that I
right.
know catch the replay. So just don't take the pressure and put it on yourself. Make sure that you are, I know you asked me for one thing, but make sure that you are having fun. I think that is the end of it. Make sure you're having fun.
Right. I would agree because having fun is what life's all about, really, not
Yeah.
just live streaming, but yeah, and moving out of our comfortable spaces to try new things. And it's how we meet new people and get to know other people and bring them to our circle and go into other people's circles. Like, I'm so happy that I met you, Stevie. Thank you
Right.
so much. I wanted to say, where can people find you and talk with you and watch your live streams?
Definitely. So I always tell people to just know how to spell my first name correctly, Stevii. That will take you to Stevie.com, but I also will take you to so many spaces I have. So if you ever need anything, Stevie.com is the hub for that.
Love it. Stevie.
And
Stevie.com.
I gift for your audience too to increase their visibility. It's a free gift and that can be found over at Stevie.com. So
Great. I love it. And I go by Jackson Hole Rose because it's a lot easier than my Italian last name. So I would love to just close this up by saying my audience and I love to say something called F perfect. And F can stand for forget perfect. Honestly, someone had asked me and they said, well, what does F perfect mean? And I thought, huh, they were from Africa. And I got it that they didn't get it. And I said, oh, well, us as Americans, are kind of a little,
Mhm.
with our talk. But this is one of the things that I love how to end the live stream is with my guest saying F perfect with all the might that they have. Because you should just do it, right?
Yes. You ready?
I'm ready.
F perfect!
Woo! There was even like a little singy song thing in there. I love it. And that is right, everyone. F perfect. Remember to keep it real and stand out by streaming live because it is your authentic edge in the AI age.